Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. So I just wanted to come on and do kind of a life update. As most of you may know, I had my second baby 10 days ago. He is so precious and we are just soaking in these moments over here. But I'm also recovering from a C-section. This is my first C-section. It has not been easy. I remember when I was in the hospital and I had to sit up out of the bed for the first time, and it was just super painful for me. So that first couple of days was like really rough. So quite different than my first labor and delivery, but I am super grateful that my doctor was able to make a fast decision and get me ready for that C-section, because every time I would push my little boy, his heart rate was dropping, and so it wasn't a safe situation for either of us to continue down that path. So I'm super grateful, and I'm glad he's here and he's healthy. And so here is kind of what I'm up against now. So when I got pregnant this time around, I was about 15 pounds heavier than I was when I got pregnant the first time. When I got pregnant the first time, I had just finished a fitness competition. I was doing photo shoots. I was actually on a photo shoot and I was 3 weeks pregnant and didn't know it. So I was very involved in fitness then. And that whole pregnancy, I worked out. I felt, for the most part pretty good, other than like morning sickness. But I stayed really active until 40 weeks. And about 6 months postpartum with my daughter, I was feeling pretty comfortable in my clothes again. I was feeling really good. Now, with this pregnancy being 15 pounds heavier, and for the record, that is just as a result of, I guess, enjoying life. I don't know. That would be like, me eating my daughter's chicken nuggets and mac and cheese more than I needed to. Kent and I going out to eat more than we probably needed to. It's just that 15 pounds was just lingering for me. And so when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, well, I can do this. I can stay active. I've done it before. But, I had morning sickness through about 12 weeks. And then throughout my pregnancy, my second pregnancy, I had about 4 or 5 sinus infections. So the weather in Texas changed a lot this year. One day it would be hot, the next day it would be super cold, and my sinuses were just all over the place. And my doctor had told me, since you're pregnant, you have more blood flowing through your system, you're gonna be more congested than normal. So I was on antibiotics 4 different times, and I had about 5 flare-ups. So that's pretty much 4 or 5 months that I was not being active. I remember the first time I got sick, my doctor, the second time I got sick, I felt good. So I got sick and then I felt good for about 3 weeks, and then it hit me again. And she said, what are you doing? I told her, well, I'm going to the gym, I'm working out. She's like, Kelsey, once you feel good, you need to take an additional week off from the gym. So anyway, long story short, I was not near as active with the second pregnancy as I was with my first. So I gained about 45 pounds with my son, with Kellen, the second pregnancy, and I gained about 35 pounds with my daughter Brinkley. But the difference is I had 15 pounds extra this second go around. So where I'm at today, I'm 10 days postpartum, and I'm already feeling good. I'm still pretty swollen from the surgery, that's a major surgery, but I'm already feeling better, and I've already dropped, I think, at least 10 pounds. I mean, fluid, baby, all that. He was almost 10 pounds. So I'm just really excited to, of course, once I'm cleared, to start working out. I'm probably going to do a lot of home workouts. Life is going to be kind of crazy with 2 kids and both of us working. So we're going to make it work, and I'm going to fit in fitness whenever I can. But I have about 60 pounds that I want to lose. And I just thought, it's important for me to share my journey with you all because, you just have to kind of be honest with where you're at. And by me coming out and saying, okay, this is where I'm at, this is my goal, I'm going to do it, like hopefully it will encourage others to take that next step, to push themselves forward. If you're not happy with where you are, like what can you do to fix it? And so I'm definitely not putting pressure on myself this time around. I know with my first pregnancy, when I was pretty involved in fitness, there were photo shoots lined up, just waiting for me when I was ready after I had my daughter, and I just felt like this constant pressure to look a certain way. And I don't feel that anymore. I'm not as involved. I'm really not involved in the fitness industry per se. I just still love fitness. And so I definitely don't feel the pressure. I am so excited to be able to just enjoy this time with my son and really see what nutrition is going to do for me over the next few months, because it's going to be a little while before I can really work out. But I just want to, start doing those healthy things now and, not go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru even though I am craving it, or not eat my daughter's mac and cheese and chicken nuggets because it has more fat than what I necessarily need. Because those little things add up. And so you just kind of have to be mindful of those things, especially if you have goals. If you're where you want to be, more power to you. But if you really have goals and you just want to take your body to the next level, you want to feel better, you want to have more energy, then you may have to cut those things out for, temporarily until you get where you want to be. So I just wanted to share this with you. I took photos last night. Of course, I am 10 days postpartum with a C-section. My belly still looks pregnant. It's just it's hanging over. But I just look at myself and I'm like, I grew this wonderful little baby. Like, you can't be mad at your body. Like, you can't look in the mirror and think, I hate myself, I hate my body, blah, blah, blah. Like, because you dwell on those thoughts, like that's what's running through your mind. So it's so important to look at yourself and bring up the positive things that you see, and just be really proud, especially if you've just had a child, like just be really proud of what you've accomplished, because there's so many people that would love to have a baby and can't. So instead of feeling, why did I let myself get this far? I'm never gonna get my body back. Instead of having like those thoughts, you just have to be positive and switch it to, wow, like I'm so proud of my body. Like, I just grew this incredible little human. It took me 40 weeks, 41 weeks, however long it took you to grow that little person. And how cool is it that I can bring life into the world? I'm really a bodybuilder. Just those types of things, and not put the pressure on yourself to look a certain way. I know social media can be just so hard to follow people because, people bounce back from pregnancies when you may not necessarily do the same, or, what they're putting out there is like a highlight reel versus their reality of what's really going on at home. So I just think you have to take that into accountability, and not make yourself feel less than. If you're following someone that makes you feel a certain way or makes you feel negative about your life or your house or your clothes, just quit following them. You're in charge. You have to be an advocate for the thoughts that are going through your mind, and what you put, like what you're looking at on your news feed every day, because the average person spends 4 hours a day on social media, and what you're looking at and what you're fueling or feeding your brain affects you. And what your kids are watching affects them too. So you just have to be really mindful of what's going on. So anyways, I say all that to say this. I wanted to share the photos that I took last night, just to give everyone like an honest look at, where I am, what reality looks like after a C-section. I know every woman is so different. I'm still super swollen. My legs, like mostly my lower body, has been so swollen. Anything that even touches my leg, like my calves and stuff right now, it's just super sore, and my feet have been really swollen. I have like one pair of shoes that I can wear right now. But, you know, I was swollen after I had my daughter with a vaginal delivery, but this has been like double the swelling. So it's been kind of crazy. In fact, like when I get out of the shower, my husband like has had to help me get dressed up until pretty much yesterday, just because I've been so sore. But I really appreciate all the outpouring of love and support that you all have given me on social media. So many mamas have had C-sections, or you have family members or friends that have, and you've just been giving me advice on what has helped you recover, what has helped them. And I really appreciate those things, because this wasn't in the plan for me. So I think, you know, you can plan life all you want, but there's what's going to happen is going to happen. And so I feel like you kind of have to roll with it and just adjust. And that's what I'm doing. So hopefully my photos will encourage you in some way. I know, like, you know, some people say, oh, I can't post my photos, I'm so embarrassed, like I don't want anyone to see them. But when I had my 50-pound weight loss after college, you know, obviously I was pretty embarrassed by those before photos. But me sharing them and putting my story out there has helped so many people that any initial embarrassment that I felt, the, you know, gratitude that people showed for me sharing my story, and you know, people just giving me the feedback that it just really helped them, and, you know, encourage them to take the next step on their journey to live a healthier lifestyle. Like, those feelings just far surpass any little bit of embarrassment I felt initially. So that's why I'm sharing these. I just kind of wanted y'all to have a realistic view of where I'm at. I know that there are, you know, people on social media that only post the highlight reel, and so I've gotten so many messages. I filmed a video the other day in my bathroom getting ready, and I was just like doing my hair and makeup, and I was like, well, this is what you get. I still look pregnant. This is what's going on. And I have gotten so many great messages from that video, just saying like, thank you for being real. Thank you for sharing who you are and what you're going through. And it's not a picture perfect thing where, you know, you already look the same after pregnancy, because so many people don't. If you do, that's great. You know, I know people who have bounced back really fast, but the majority of moms that I know personally, it has taken them weeks and months and even a year or more to feel good again. So that's why I think it's just important that I'm an open book with what I'm going through, so that I can maybe encourage you in some way. So I want to invite y'all to, you know, push yourselves along with me, challenge yourself to do something new this year as far as fitness, just being more active, you know, making your nutrition more of a priority. I am doing a 16-week IsaBody challenge, and I am just going to really push myself. I love giving myself a deadline, building up walls of accountability around myself. And really, this is not for, oh, I want abs. This goal is just different. For me, even when I first got pregnant and I was 15 pounds heavier, I already didn't feel like myself. Like, my energy levels wasn't there. You know, my food probably wasn't the best. And there were just certain things that were bothering me. Like, my knees were bothering me. I think it was just still, even 15 pounds heavier was just a little too much weight for my body. And I'm 5'10", and at, you know, 17 to 18% body fat, which is pretty lean, I weigh 150 pounds. So the fact that I had gained 15 and was at 165, and then gained, you know, 45 pounds with pregnancy, like, I have been over 200 pounds for a while. And that can really mess with your head too. But I just haven't felt great. You know, carrying around that extra weight, it's hard for you to tie your shoes. It's hard for you to get up off the floor. Like if I'm down on the floor playing with my daughter, I just got a real dose of, you know, I don't want to say reality, but I just got a dose of where I don't want to be this past year, just with the pregnancy and just gaining the extra weight and not being where I wanted to be going into it. It was hard. It was hard on my body, and, you know, clothes not fitting, you know, struggle getting up out of a chair, those types of things. And so this goal, I just want to feel good. I mean, I would love to get back into my size 6 jeans. You know, we all have those goals, but this goal is more about my energy and being the best mom that I can be, being the best wife that I can be. And when I feel good, my family gets the best of me. And when I'm happy, my family, my friends, everybody, you know, people that I work with, everybody benefits when I feel my best. And so if you have the mom guilt and you're like, oh, I just don't have time, you do have time. Everybody has 20 minutes a day that they could do something active. You just have to make it a priority. You just have to go into the day thinking, okay, when am I fitting this in today? Not, oh, well, maybe I'll work out if I have time. Because if you go into it with that mindset, you'll never have time or you'll never make time. But if you go into your day going, or plan even the day before or the week before, this is what time I have 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Like, it doesn't take 2 hours in the gym to get great results. Like 80% of our results are nutrition. And I know that just from being in fitness for 8 or 9 years now. So I'm just really excited to get back to feeling my best, to have that energy, you know, so that my kids can see that I'm setting a good example, because that's important to me. And I'm just going to invite all of you, like if you're not happy with where you're at in your life, like I want to invite you to do this with me, whether you do the IsaBody challenge with me, or, you know, once I meet my goal, I'm going to put out a transformation program so that you can follow the exact workouts and food that I did. Maybe that's what you do. Whatever it is, I just want to encourage you to, you know, move forward, move the needle forward, because nobody can motivate you. Nobody can just be around you and say, eat this, not that. Like, there's nobody that can do that for you. It has to be within you. You have to have the motivation within. And the first month is always the hardest. You're creating those healthier habits. But once you create the habit is what keeps you going when you're not motivated, because you're going to have a lot of days that you're not motivated. But by creating that habit, and we are such creatures of habit, it is what is going to move you forward when you don't feel like working out. Even on days where, you know, obviously if you have a sick kid, like that's a reason, like be with your kid, like be with your child, you know, help them get well and just eat well, like eat really good that day. It's just all about like understanding that no day is going to be the same. Nobody has the perfect schedule. Heck, even when I worked from home, even like, okay, so when I've worked in an office versus working from home, I used to tell myself when I first started working from home, oh, I'll go to the gym later, I'll go to the gym later. And I would get tied up doing calls or emails or housework, and then I would let the whole day go by and not work out. I swear I was more productive and more disciplined when I was actually working in an office, because I knew I was working from 8 to 5, and I had from this time to this time to work out in the evening. And if I wasn't going to do it, then it wasn't going to happen, or I would have to get up before work to do it. So anyways, everybody's different, but you just have to find what's going to work for you. Maybe some days you work out early and some days you work out late. You just really have to find what works for you. So hopefully this has encouraged you in some way. Check out my photos. I've got some work to do, but I'm not afraid of hard work, and I know what works. So that makes me feel really good and really excited about the months going forward and just getting my energy back, feeling like myself again, and really just being the best version of me that I can be. That's what this is about. So love you all, and I will connect with you online and through my blog, and feel free to message me if you just need any encouragement. Okay, bye.